a warm welcome to Newsline. Although all our focus is on the governorship and state assemblies elections, we won't forget to say Happy Mothering Sunday to all amazing, strong, and selfless mothers. I am Jennifer Igwe. Done with the governorship and state assemblies elections, the voting aspect, many of us, all of us actually, are eagerly waiting for the full results. There are experiences from the exercise that are key pointers when it's time for both the electorates, the electoral umpire INEC, relevant authorities, and even the candidates that contested. On our lineup today are features on bonding beyond elections, voters' apathy and why, the political impact of Nigerians in diaspora, and interesting sidelines of the elections from across the country. There is also the issue of fake news and hate speech. They are dangerous Siamese twins. One effect they have in common is the power to polarize a society. Find out how patriotism can help to check the negatives. And to positives, there is this unique island in the coastal area of Lagos. It has abundant resources and untapped potential. The election is helping to draw attention to the community. Our correspondent will tell us more about it and why. We have other interesting stories as well, but first, as is a tradition, the news segment, and Claire Adelabu Abdurazak is waiting to take it in Abuja. Hello, Claire. Nice to see you.
Good to see you as well. I was trying to, go through my head, my mind to, search for the appropriate quote for mothers on a day like this. And one readily comes to my mind is Neka, translated to Mother is Supreme. And so it's on that note I welcome you to our Abuja studios and to the news tonight. I am Claire Adelabu Abdurazak, and INEC says it is satisfied with the conduct of the governorship and state assembly elections on March 18, 2023. Now, INEC National Commissioner for Information, Festus Okoye, in a press briefing here in Abuja, expressed regret over electoral violence recorded in some states, leading to what he says is the death of one ad hoc staff.
Some of our staff were abducted, some were harassed, some were intimidated, some were hospitalized, and in one case killed. We are committed to the sanctity of the process and will not hesitate to take drastic measures against proven irregularities. Allegations of voter inducement, harassment, and manipulation of results will be reviewed and addressed. Earlier today, the Commission alerted the nation to the invasion of our Obingwa local government area office in Abia State by talks during the collation of results for the governorship and state assembly elections. In contention was the collated result from the registration areas for the governorship election in that local government area. The intention was to force the collation of these contentious results. The behavior of these talks is unacceptable, and there will be a thorough review of the results.
That was the INEC National Commissioner, Festus Okoye, briefing the press here in Abuja. And from Oyo State's governorship results have been trickling in. The incumbent governor, Seyi Makinde, has emerged winner. Kemi Oshin brings us feelers from INEC Collation Center in Ibadan.
Makinde has been returned after polling 563,756 votes ahead of the candidate of the APC with 256,685 votes. The PDP candidate, by the results, 1 in 31 out of the 33 local governments in Oyo State. And with this result, the pace-setter state has done it again, being among the first to conclude the governorship election across the country.
The process was quite smooth, and the results actually came in earlier than expected, especially for some local governments. That usually, you know, that if most of the other local governments have not been declared, they don't usually come on time. But this time around, Ibadan Southwest, for instance, came as early as possible, and that's a pointer to the fact that the election was quite smooth.
Well, the exercise is very seamless and good, because we are all here from the beginning, and we saw the collation in progress. So, and what we did from our own end as a party is that we have the copies of this result from the local government, which we use to correlate and check the ones that they are using here.
Yes, I'm comfortable. I'm comfortable with this situation here, personally, because it's so the transparency of the issue.
Nature itself seems to be at home with the victory of Seyi Makinde with the slogan Omi Tutu 2.0.
Is hereby declared winner and is returned elected. Signed.
As the weather became cool Sunday afternoon after the declaration, jubilation and celebration continues at the Agodo residence of the governor-elect in Ibadan. Kemi Oshi, NTA News.
All right, let's turn our attention now to Akwa Ibom State, where Pastor Umoeno of the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, has emerged winner of the March 18 governorship elections. Now, he polled 354,348 to beat his closest rival, Obongbase Albert, of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, who polled 136,262. Our correspondent Clement Barikwe reports that the All Progressives Congress APC candidate, Akanimo Udofia, polled 126,602 to earn a third place.
That Eno Umo Basi of PDP, having satisfied the requirements of the law, is hereby declared the winner and is returned elected.
INEC has done something extraordinary, so I really commend them. Now, I also want to commend the security agencies. And our stand is that this election that have just been concluded is an outright abuse to what democracy stands for.
This put to end days and months of anxiety on who occupies the hilltop mansion. Umoeno is governor-elect until he sworn into office, beat his closest rival, Obongbase Albert of the Young Progressives Party, YPP, who polled 136,262 votes. Governor-elect Umoeno wants all governorship candidates in the gubernatorial election to join hands with him to build the state.
We have only one Akwa Ibom. With political parties and platforms, but let us work together, and I'm stretching out my hands to work with everybody to run an all-inclusive government.
Until his emergence, Pastor Umoeno was the Akwa Ibom State Commissioner for Lands and was favored by the present administration to run for the office of the governor. In Uyo, Clement Barikui, NTA News.
And the Nigerian Bar Association, NBA, has commended the conduct of the governorship and houses of assembly elections. The president of the bar, Yakubu Mekiao, gave the commendation and the initial observation of the bar on the conduct. Here is Deadly Atombi with the rest of the report.
With observers across the country, the Nigerian Bar Association monitored the conduct of the governorship and the House of Assembly's elections nationwide. The bar observed the early arrival of electoral materials and ad hoc staff of INEC in most of the polling units. The prompt functionality of beavers in the identification of eligible voters attracted the attention of the Nigerian Bar Association.
Has been an improvement in the deployment of INEC materials and officials at the polling units. Unlike in the presidential election, we noticed an improvement, significant improvement across the country of the deployment of polling materials. Most of the polling units that were visited or observations carried out by our accredited observers or members of the Nigerian Bar Association that happened to vote at those polling units, it was reported that INEC officials arrived on time, materials were on time, and they began the voting process and accreditation in most of the polling units at 8:30 in the morning. And this appears to be the trend and development across the country.
The bar, however, canvassed improvement in the conduct of off-cycle elections in the country.
In most of the polling units, agents conducted themselves well. In some of the places I went, I observed how that they presented their complaints in a very calm and orderly manner where they had complaints.
The association commended the comportment of eligible voters during the exercise. In Abuja, Dele Atumbi, NTA News.
And the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room is advocating independent inquiry into the conduct of the 2023 general elections towards addressing all identified pitfalls. Yaga Africa, on its own part, is also calling for calm as results have been announced. All of these form part of the Election Monitoring Group's second interim report of the March 18 governorship and state houses of assembly elections. Here is Timothy Yusuf with the report.
Situation Room knows that the principal actors and propagators of election violence are well known, but have operated in an environment of absolute impunity for years. The Situation Room calls on government to urgently address this persistent problem.
With results of the March 18 governorship and state houses of assembly elections being announced, the Nigeria Civil Society Situation Room believes that an independent inquiry into the 2023 general elections would address, amongst other issues, procurement, logistics, management, and abuse of electoral process by INEC and security officials.
It is imperative to undertake a national debate, to address all these critical challenges that still confront our electoral process. This, without doubt, will enthrone more transparency and help to build people's confidence in the electoral process.
Meanwhile, Yaga Africa has enjoined citizens to remain calm and maintain peace as INEC collates and announce the results.
Reject any call for violence. Only INEC has the legal mandate to announce the election results and return a candidate as a winner. We urge all stakeholders to respect the Commission's constitutional power and refrain from declaring election results.
After INEC declares the results, we will be in a position to either verify the results or detect where there are inconsistencies in the results.
The Election Monitoring Group, under its watching the votes and parallel vote tabulation methodology, noted that it will continue to monitor the results collation until the final completion. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
All right, you're watching the news on Newsline tonight, and time to take a short break. The news will continue in just a moment. And this is the news on Newsline, and we begin this segment of the news from Kano, where the police have made good their vow to bring to justice persons that attempt to disrupt the orderly conduct of the general elections. Now, this followed the arrest of 161 suspects of various electoral offences, including attempted arson, vote buying, destruction of election materials, and possession of weapons and hard drugs. Elizabeth Yila in Kano is standing by with an update.
Governorship and State House of Assembly elections have been conducted successfully in Kano State. However, there are a number of cases of disruptions of election materials as well as vote buying that were found in some particular polling units within the metropolis. More than 100 suspects have been arrested for various offenses during the election in Kano State, and the Deputy Inspector General of Police, Hafiz Inua, as well as the Commissioner of Police in Kano State, Hussein Mohammed Gumel, are addressing the pressmen on the varied offenses that were committed.
We can beat our chest to say that we provided the best enabling security for everybody to exercise his franchise.
A total of 161 suspects were arrested for indulging in offenses ranging from vote buying, destruction of election material, attempt to burn down Independent National Electoral Commission office, office of the local government collection centers, being in possession of offensive weapons, being in possession of illicit drugs and combustibles. The suspects arrested include one Ishaku Ali Danja, a member of the State House of Assembly representing Gezal constituency and a candidate vying for a return ticket under the platform of a party in the state, who mobilized and led talks and attempted to attack Gezal local government area and the collection center and the police divisional headquarters at Gezal local government. Meanwhile, the judge inaugurated special investigation team consisting of police lawyers, seasoned prosecutors, as well as trained investigators are directed to speed up the process without delay, as recently directed by the Inspector General of Police.
The alleged suspects will be kept here for a number of periods until investigations are carried out, and security operatives in Kano State are still moving around to ensure that the collation that is still ongoing is carried out successfully. From Kano, Elizabeth Yila, NTA News.
Thank you, Elizabeth Yela there, of course, giving us update on the press briefing by the State Police Command. Now, a former vice president of the Abu Dhabi National Oil Company has joined the services of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation, NNPC Limited, as head of its oil trading arm, NNPC Trading Limited. Cordier's appointment is in furtherance of the ongoing repositioning drive in the company towards improved growth, better performance, and service delivery. A statement by Garbaddin Mohammed, Chief Corporate Communications Officer, NNPC Limited. The renowned international oil trader Cordier, a French-Swiss national, holds a master's degree in corporate finance with distinction from Paris 9 University. He's coming into the role with a rich background spanning over 30 years in physical oil derivatives, and risk management, with significant experience in reorganizing and creating a trading business. He spent 24 years with Alf Trading and Total Trading in various positions as trader, trading desk manager. Cordier has since assumed duty. Now, the struggle to rid the streets of drugs continues as 1,205,260 pills of opioids were seized in 2 interdiction operations in Kogi and Gombe states. Now, the seizure was made by NDLEA operatives during a series of hunts for traffickers. Also, activities of a drug syndicate believed to be operating between Nigeria, East Africa, and Europe were disrupted at the Lagos airport, and 2 suspects were arrested over attempts to smuggle 3 kilograms of heroin. The agency also intercepted a jerry can of palm oil going to Dubai, United Arab Emirates, with 600 grams of cannabis sativa concealed in it. Now, 9 other suspects were arrested in Kogi, Kaduna, and Delta states, as well as Lagos airport, with various strains of substances. President Muhammad Buhari is felicitating with His Royal Highness Alhaji Bako Ibiridelu Aguma Bassa Benin on his 58th birthday, come 20th of March 2023, and is rejoicing with the royal father for his service to his people and indeed to the nation. President Buhari recalls the invaluable contributions of the traditional ruler, who is the Coordinator General, Basa Traditional Rulers and Elites to Peace, Development and Prosperity of his domain, particularly the attention to civic responsibilities, education and entrepreneurship. As the Aguma Basa turns 58, the President lauds his dedication and commitment to his domain and the entire country, saluting his passion, particularly for agriculture and support for the grow what we eat and eat what we grow policy of the federal government. President Buhari prays for the well-being of the royal father. And now, as mothers across the nation celebrate their resilience, doggedness, and contributions to nationhood, they say the family, society, and government should also commit to their all-round development for equity and empowerment. Elizabeth Omoroyi reports that this was the central message at the different churches she covered today, where Mothering Sunday was celebrated amidst fanfare.
Worshippers throng the Methodist Church of Nigeria, Wuse, a lens captured Fidelia, who believes in promoting women for visible impact in all sectors of the economy.
As mothers, God who made us to be mother will always be with us. But we, human beings, you know, some situations will make us to look back. But the scripture, God is telling us not to look back, but to look unto him.
Mothering Sunday, celebrated on the fourth Sunday of the Christian festival of Lent, provides the platform for women to share tips for blissful marriage, spiritual growth, parenting, and financial inclusion. Ministers in various churches re-emphasized the need for Nigerian women to embrace positive values as society reflects what the family unit churns.
We women should not shy away from politics.
A woman has to stand to be what she should be. She should draw her strength from God.
We should learn to be at our place of prayer. So we need to live in peace.
Motherhood from women is a very strong instrument in the hands of God in building a nation.
The theme of this year's celebration focuses on faith and perseverance, virtues they insist every woman should possess. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
Well, while women are being celebrated all over the country today, there are areas where people aren't celebrating, and that's one of the highbrow states in Lagos State, where in Allen Avenue in Ikeja, where people are living in fear following the gruesome murder of an old couple. Correspondent Joel Kukwola reports that neighbors in that vicinity have invited the police to investigate the unfortunate incident.
Residents of the estate got to know about the tragic incident when the house help raised an alarm after the old couple were murdered by the assailants. We are at an estate in Allen Avenue area of Ikeja, where a couple were killed in the early hours of the morning. The incident has caused anxiety and palpable fear as residents of the estate are now becoming apprehensive. For now, journalists are not allowed to gain access to the scene of the incident by family members, and residents are not willing to speak on camera. The police is investigating the matter, and they are also on ground to provide maximum security to allay fears of residents of the estate. We will keep you updated as events unfold. While police investigation continues, the remains of the deceased have been evacuated from their residence. In Lagos, Joel Kukwola, NTA News.
Quite unfortunate there. Joel, thank you. We do hope you'll keep us updated as developments unfold. All right, time to talk sports now. And the nation's sole surviving continental campaigner, Rivers United, had advanced to the quarterfinal of the CAF Confederation Cup. Now, this follows their final group game this evening in Uyo, where they were forced to a 2-2 draw by Diablos North. For details, let's join Oche Mbede.
Nigerians' sole surviving continental campaigners, Rivers United, has advanced to the quarterfinals of the CAF Confederations Cup following their 2-2 draw with Congo side Diab Noir. 2 goals from Unyema Uwagu of Rivers United in Uyo could not earn the nation's representative the maximum 3 points, but good enough to see them through to the CAF Confederations Cup quarterfinal. As the Super Eagles camp opened Sunday in Abuja with Moses Simon and the duel of Leicester City, Wilfred Edidi and Kelechi Iheanacho are the first callers to have arrived Nigeria ahead of the Friday's Guinea-Bissau Africans Nations Cup qualifier ties. With training sessions set to commence immediately, others are expected to hit the camp Monday. 23 players were invited to prosecute the double headers between the 3-time African champions and Guinea-Bissau, slated for next Friday at the Moshood Abiola National Stadium at 5 p.m. Nigerian time. Nigeria in Group A is topping the table with 6 points from 2 matches, closely followed by Guinea-Bissau with 4 points. Nigeria will have the AFCON ticket sealed if they beat Guinea-Bissau home and away. Meanwhile, Nigeria's hot striker Victor Osimhen has continued to impress ahead of the AFCON clash against Guinea-Bissau as he scored twice to give its side Napoli a comfortable 4-0 away win against Torino in the Italian Serie A match on Sunday. And still on football, in the English Premier League, Arsenal has increased their top place margin to 8 points after they beat Crystal Palace 4-1 in their match the 28th encounter at the Emirates. Following his defeat from the ongoing ITF Singapore Smash, Nigerian table tennis star Aruna Quadri has thanked Nigerians, especially the media, for their support. While reacting to his defeat from the Smash, Aruna admitted his performance against the Brazilian was not too good, but hoped to have a better outing next time. The African #1 produced an impressive performance in the qualifying round before he was defeated in the quarterfinals 4-0. With sports update, Oche Mbede, NTA News.
And that brings us to the end of the news segment from our network studios here in Abuja. And of course, as the saying goes, there is a time for everything under the skies, Jennifer. And I can see from your appearance tonight, it's quite suggestive that tonight is all for women.
I mean, men complain sometimes that we have so many Mother's Day, Mothering Sundays, Mothers, Women Sunday. But hey, we cannot celebrate mothers enough. Time for Newsline proper, and we'll start with the resilient nature of Nigerians. Now, the resilient nature of Nigerians often show in places you least expect. During the gubernatorial and state assemblies elections, our reporters on the field captured the no retreat, no surrender spirit of persons with disabilities at the polls and the clever way Nigerians can turn situations they find themselves in into fun for everyone. Let's join Larry Gbeleye for moments he observed while on election duty.
The governorship and State House of Assembly elections made the ever-busy Lagos roads calm. Driving his mobility vehicle for the disabled on the quiet road, 54-year-old Ademiluyi, who is living with disability, headed home after casting his ballot at his polling unit. I stopped in for a chat and asked about considerations for persons with disabilities at the exercise.
When it started, nobody even talked about having any special consideration for people with disability. Talk of 99, who ever cared? Whether you were able to vote or not, nobody cared. But as time went by, we find people coming out to advocate for people with disability to be able to participate.
Following my conversation with Ademiluyi, I spoke with more people with disabilities to get their views.
The last one, they had to use my face. But today I was surprised when my fingerprints worked.
A noticeable trend at the polls caught my attention. It's the way Nigerians engage in one activity or the other to pass time while waiting for results. At a unit in Anifowoshe, Ikeja area of Lagos, for instance, I saw voters actively involved in a game of table tennis.
You just played now.
Yeah.
When was the last time you did this?
25 years ago.
You've been able to...
Yeah. You know, once a while, you know, I do my normal jogging, like, you know, as a sportsman. I was a footballer when I was in Cameroon. Yeah, but you see, here now, when I see my younger ones playing table tennis and they give me an opportunity, you understand? I share with them, but they were surprised. Some of them say, so you can still move your hand? I said I was a sportsman, a full sportsman.
Moments like these have a way of bridging gaps between Nigerians with different socio-political views and beliefs.
Thank you, Larry. Now, it's good to know that things have changed, because everyone, as far as you're eligible to vote and you have registered, provisions must be made for you. So it's good that we are making adequate provisions for persons with disabilities. And let me tell you, sports, entertainment, music have a way of bringing Nigerians together. At that point, we don't even know, we don't care who you are, what you think, your ideology. We just blend as one. Very good. Now, what else did you do with your time after casting your ballot during the just concluded governorship and state assemblies elections? Well, Rhoda Olaya, a resident of Okedayo in Kaba, Bunu local government area of Kogi State, made the most of the day. She drew the attention of correspondent Jonathan Omajali during the elections.
The polling units were the center of attention on 18th March 2023. But away from the ballot boxes, residents of Okedayo, a sleepy community in Kababunu local government area, made the most of their time. Here, we found Mrs. Rhoda and her children. Like many residents, they are farmers. My colleague took a seat beside her at her gari processing company and tried his hands on peeling some cassava.
And I have these indigenes of Kababunu local government who have gone out to cast their ballot. They are back to their company, as they call it. Madam, talk to us.
Welcome, sir.
Okay.
And I don't go vote, come back to my company to do my daily job. The thing where they do, now be gari company. Now, I dey pick gari. I dey pick cassava from hand now. After peeling, grinding, wash them, pack them for inside sack, cover them, go rest mom, and sleep.
It's a business that has helped her to train her children. One reason it has to go on even on election day.
So, we thank God. The little one where I get, I take on the pay school fees. The one where they let work, I take on the train them small.
Along Okene Kaba Road, Wasiu and his friend who were too young to vote looked after their parents' flock. Hopefully, they'll be old enough to vote during the next general elections.
See, that is not about Nigerians. Okay, we have a focus on the elections, but hey, we must also do other things, especially for subsistence. Very key. My next report is on patriotism. How far can a person go to be patriotic, even against all odds? What about Nigerians who raise false alarms and those who spread fake news to affect the efforts of those who are resolute that Nigeria and her citizens remain as one indivisible through the ballots? Wondering what this is all about? Then listen to Annie Daniels.
My beautiful Lagos was without unnecessary sounds from cars and people. Of course, elections are ongoing with few people at several polling booths visited. Then this.
When I came here, I was surprised I saw this crowd. I saw this mammoth crowd here. Why the crowd? Like other times.
I know the INEC said they should be counting on the polling unit. So we are waiting now.
getting to this place and seeing this crowd, that's why we're curious, asking that, hope all is well. Are they facing any challenges? And then I'm happy that they said they voted and they're just hanging out.
Okay, that's a good one. Then somewhere else in the metropolis, these women caught my attention. Bell ringers on quiet streets.
The reason why I'm calling people to come and vote is because of the importance of choosing good leaders.
We have peace here, but we don't know what happened. Nobody come outside.
The traffic is involved. People are tired. Some people got home around 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock.
This morning?
Yes, this morning. So some are resting inside.
It is not late for them. You have advised them, you have called them that they should go out and cast their vote for the party of their choice. And you can see, majority of the people that are here are all youths. And that's exactly why they are out.
Sure, a word they say is enough for the wise. While still here, I got a call from a friend dissuading me from going to Alimosho local government area because she heard that the area had become a battlefield. Curiosity, they say, killed the cat. So we headed for Alimosho local government area. The roads were empty, shops closed, no polling booth in sight, no fighting either. Then I saw these people. I decided to engage them in a discussion.
There's no any problem here. Everything is going peacefully and equally and quietly.
We are eating. You can see our boys, our elders.
They were so friendly and accommodating and even agreed to take me to all the polling booths in Yanopaja and environs.
The last time was wonderful, but today is better.
I mean, very sweet election because the ANEC, they came around 5 minutes to it. And they will stay here and we'll start to vote.
So it's all for salam. I continued with my newfound friends.
We are not fighting. We are voting. Everybody will vote for what you want.
And where they are selling the food, he told them to close. They make sure they register and they make a.
It's glaring from all indications that these people are happy and will remain so even as life moves on.
A lot happens during the elections, the positives and the negatives. So even when people share stories on the social media, there should be a bit of balance and don't make it look all so negative. All citizens have a civic responsibility to participate in elections and vote. It is a crucial obligation aimed at deepening and sustaining democratic culture. So as the country continues to nurture its democracy, concerned Nigerians and observers are of divergent views as to why voting apathy suddenly resurfaced in many polling units during the governorship and state assemblies elections as against the large turnout of eligible voters during the February 25 presidential and National Assembly polls. Erica Evie, who captured these views, has more.
Elections in Nigeria are forms of choosing representatives to the state and federal governments, and by so doing, citizens have the right to vote and be voted for. And so, given the population of the country now, before the upcoming 2023 population census, Nigerians are over 200 million people, and the voting age bracket is considered to be about 150 million. But records of the turnout of Nigerians for election over the years have been characterized by apathy.
Things were not done the way they were said to have been done initially. Results were not announced at the polls and all of that. That is why. Otherwise, there would have been a large crowd here. People believe that their vote will not count.
Most analysts, especially in the just concluded governorship and House of Assembly elections, are linking to lack of interest and political happenings of recent times.
So many people don't have transport to come out and vote. That is why some people are staying at home. Some would think, what if I use this money to come and vote? And I don't have money to feed my children. Let me just stay back at home. That is why this is affecting us right now.
Some people, they don't have money to come. Some people, they are calling us, they say they are far, they cannot come.
the turnout is low, not like the presidential election where you have a huge turnout, people were eager to come out and vote.
Although the autism theory of voting is a model of voter behavior for citizens to have social preferences, an election will be outweighed by the large cumulative benefits the society will receive from the voters.
And it's interesting how sometimes when you go to the social media and you see many people debating, some very angry, and when it's time to vote, they sit at home watching movies or still analyzing on the social media. Well, I think it's a civic responsibility and we must vote. That's the way we can move forward. Time for some messages. Newsline will continue shortly. Welcome back. The 2023 general elections, many argue, has had a coloration that will remain instructive in the annals of history. The process has seen political players putting their best foot forward to ensure good placement at the door of victory. Thekla Wilkie in this report beams the lens on the diaspora effects in the 2023 electoral process.
The last few weeks has seen the Nigerian political climate charge up with campaign messages and promises by the different political players. This development was further put to the test as Nigerians trooped out in their numbers to elect new leaders who would occupy political positions at both federal and state levels in the next 4 years. The 2023 elections witnessed many variables. From the deployment of technology to the change in political demography, the election was indeed a game changer. While political characters had their roles carved out, Nigerians in diaspora were determined in their resolve to be part of the process, as playing the spectator was not an option.
You cannot divorce Nigeria from Nigerians, no matter where they live.
Most people did not really want to leave. So, so connect that dot with the fact that even when they get here, they are often in contact with home for many reasons.
More people, younger people are now out and seeing the way democracy actually works in full force. It's like, oh yeah, we can actually make this to work back in our country, home country, Nigeria.
This election is consequential, and I don't want to say existential election for Nigerian nation.
These crystallized into collaborations by different diasporan groups to contribute to their quota to the process.
We spoke to people, we created lectures, we had conferences, we mobilized financially, emotionally, psychologically, and we provided strategy.
Many of the candidates, certainly the more prominent candidates, came out to speak to the diasporans. So that is also reflective of the contributions of the diasporans in the election.
For those who couldn't join in the physical exercise, the armchair position was still a no-no as they rolled up their sleeves in galvanizing support and sensitizing people back home.
Our big regret is that we are not allowed to vote, but we hope that by the next elections, that's not going to be the case. However, we became citizen canvassers, the best we could do from over here. And some of us actually went to Nigeria and stayed in Nigeria for the past 3 to 6 months. So the diaspora has been fully engaged. In some ways, we seem more desperate than the people in Nigeria for this to work, because it will change everything.
They want to change. They want a home that they can come to. And they want to be able to travel abroad without being stigmatized. Every Nigerian wants a better country.
The 2023 elections may have come and gone, but the outcomes will continue to reverberate in the echo chambers of history in a long time to come.
Definitely, Nigeria's history will there will always be that line that talks about the 2023 general elections. So many novel things happened this time around. And Nigerians in diaspora, I must say, even through the social media, have been contributing positively to the electoral process, even of the social media, and this is remarkable. Now, in some parts of Lagos, during the 2023 governorship and House of Assembly elections, the saying different strokes for different folks came to life. Thelma Elogo captured it in this short report.
Football, as we all know, is a unifying factor all over the world. Anywhere the round letter game is played, there is no discrimination, no ethnicity, no religion, and of course, no party affiliation. And so it was for these young ones who cared less about the happenings of the day to invest their time in street football.
We are playing goalless. We just started the game. No, I don't have a PVC. I tried my best, but last year my age have not reached. That's why I just completed 18 this February. So say I can't do it till next year.
Game of football, don't know any tribe, don't know any. Everybody love, all those children are playing, they love football very well. No tribe, no everything. So everybody enjoy the football.
While some played, others cheered them on. And like one with sweet tooth who cannot resist sweet, this reporter could not resist the temptation to tap the ball a little, and it was exhilarating. The love of football is not deterring them from going out to cast their ballot. You're happy playing football today?
I'm very happy.
But today is an election day.
Yes, sir.
Are you not going to vote?
I've voted already.
Away from football, we met some women carrying out brisk business. These food sellers say it's a win-win situation for all, as they have not only carried out their voting rights, they have also used the opportunity to make quick money, just as prospective voters did not go hungry while the process was on.
Will I sell my vote? I can't sell it now. Yes, now.
Because people must eat.
Yeah, they must eat. Oh. That's what is there.
People must eat. I agree. And I talked earlier on about how sports is a unifying factor. But please don't get carried away playing football and forget to cast your ballot. This election is gone, but have that in mind for subsequent ones. Look, now, considering the heated arguments and divergent sentiments that precedes most elections in Nigeria, it is not out of place to assume that many electorates view polling centers as battlefield to determine and crown the victor. During our electioneering expedition in Lagos, however, Michael Olaleye captured a rare setting where the electorates put aside their differences to enjoy the moment while the process lasted.
This scene played out at polling unit 012, Lekki Scheme 1, Admiralty Way, in which a woman came to the center to exercise her franchise after the mandatory period for voting. She was vehemently resisted collectively by the people without opposing view from anyone.
Left me empty inside.
The solidarity demonstrated at the polling unit starts from the seating arrangement, which was carefully done to relax the minds. In fact, from the setting, it is difficult to dissect the political affiliation of the next person.
A couple of us over the past 20 years since 2003 have taken it upon ourselves to constantly arrange our polling unit just to make sure that there is orderliness, there is sanity, there's safety, there's comfort for people who come in. We provide tags for people, so numbers are there. We provide canopies, chairs, crowd arrangements, barriers, everything just done to make sure that everybody has a nice experience during the voting time.
For some, the attraction to this particular polling unit transfers the peaceful atmosphere.
We've always been organizing carnival during elections. All the parties will come, will bring food, snacks, and drinks, and we'll all sit down and drink and eat together.
My expedition also took me to perceived hotspots on the social media space where voting conversation tends to be given ethnic coloration. The name of this estate caught my attention, but ended up chatting with Charles Okafor, a filmmaker. He's a resident here and waiting to cast his ballots. Taking a cue from the name of the estate, where all ethnic groups cohabit peacefully, he wondered why tribal settlements have become bait during elections.
We are intrinsically a united people. We must break this myth. Each election season, each election cycle, politicians play this divisive card, which we ought to discourage. How do we discourage it? By insisting on that which binds us as a people.
Since he told me he was born in Lagos, so I requested for few words in Yoruba, but got a shock.
Ìṣùjọba lórí ìyan kẹ́ni mama bí jẹba òsìkà ẹni tí a ṣẹ̀ tí ò dáríjì ni tó bá fún wa lóbì ká má máa jẹ. I just gave you an away.
From Festac Town and back to Lekki Scheme 1, it was an experience of forming strong ties and bonding among the electorate, a disposition which many Nigerians believe should be further replicated across all strata for national growth.
Elections should not be a do-or-die affair. I was born in Lagos and I've lived in Lagos all my life, and I speak Yoruba very well, and I also speak Igbo. So we are one big family in Nigeria, whether we like it or not. So we should not allow election to pull us apart. Now, Irewe town in Ojo local government area of Lagos State is uniquely located along the Seas Cap. The area has uncommon attributes as a piece of land surrounded by water. Yes, I'm sure you can tell it's an island. It is indeed a one-of-a-kind island. Amaka Owo, who went on election coverage there, interacted with a cross-section of indigents. Let's hear from her.
It takes an hour by water to travel from Lagos city center to Irewe Island. Worthy of note is the beautiful seascape that can be captured from different dimensions. As we set out on the lagoon, we came across various security checkpoints with personnel ensuring safety along the waterways. Election day at Irewe community was peaceful. Away from the elections, I got captivated and interested in the town that is so endowed with nature's gifts.
It's a very serene environment, close to nature. The seas is predominantly an island. You have other sea at the back. This is one you are seeing. The next one is the Atlantic Ocean. These environmental, yes, they came. We took them around. They took sample of the air. It was so pure.
Tourist potential of Irewe town can never be overemphasized. The beachfront is massive. This is close to what we have in the United States. If we have investors come around there, this can be transformed to what we have in Miami. The Miami beachfront, the desired tourist center that average individual across the world we want to come into.
In a bid to maximize the limited time I had to spend in the area, I visited some parts of the town said to have about 30 villages.
We have Imoba, yes, Imoba Sea Beach is a high. We have Agaja Sea Beach. We have Okugbado Sea Beach and Okugbado Akume.
I also dropped by at the primary and secondary school. With a population of about 500,000 people and appreciable number of youths, I was curious about their livelihoods.
I dey hunt am. I dey hunt am. On top water, how you dey hunt? No be on top water na, you no see bush dey here na. Bush dey plenty.
Get bar, get many things for here. May they give us small money. May they manage for this place.
The residents, who are predominantly Aworis, say there is an abundance of agricultural resources in the area, like coconuts, fish, and other things the island is blessed with. Irewe Island is indeed endowed with several beaches with untapped tourism potential begging for attention.
And when we say Lagos is a state of aquatic splendor, all around Lagos we have coastal communities, some that are not so popular, but if you take a boat ride there, you just don't want to come back. And I'm sure tourists would surely enjoy such places. We have to pay some bills now. Newsline will continue shortly. Welcome back. It was another joyous day for the NTA family as one of our own, and indeed former Director, Administration and Training, Tunde Oluwatudimu, gave out his daughter Okpeyemi in marriage to a heartthrob Amos Adeyoju at the Deeper Life Bible Church, State Headquarters, Ibadan, Oyo State. As expected, the NTA family from across the country were on ground to witness the memorable event. Yemisi Ajagun captured the blissful moments for Newsline.
It was a moment of celebration as family, friends, and well-wishers gathered at Deeper Life Bible Church, State Headquarters, Ibadan, to rejoice with the families of Oluwatudimu and Adeyoju as they blessed their children, Okpeyemi and Adeolu, who were joined in holy matrimony. The couple was admonished to make Christ the center of their union as the certificate of marriage was presented to them. Okpeyemi and Adeolu, who could not hide their joy, shared their love story.
We actually were friends before I actually fell in love with him. He has a good character, a godly one at that, and he's God-fearing.
We met in the UK, and it happens that our friend during the undergrad in Nigeria happens to be my friend during our masters. I saw Christ-like behavior and some kind of trait of someone that was brought up in a good home.
Words of advice were given to the bride and groom.
I want to thank the Almighty God for His benevolence concerning this day, and pray that God will prosper them materially and spiritually.
They should be patient with each other, and God will manage.
Definitely. All good things come from God. I pray that the Lord will continue to bless this union.
I give all glory to Him because He took perfect control.
However, ahead of all of those is to commit everything to God Almighty. Because at the end of the day, Jesus Christ is the witness of this event.
Let them invite peace into their homes. They should keep no secrets.
Just to trust themselves and believe in themselves.
We pray that God will bless them and keep their home. Christ should be the foundation.
They should always pray. They should be each other's friends. I pray that the wisdom of God will guide them.
My advice for them will be that they keep third parties out of their marriage. They should be friends.
In a colorful reception, NTA family from within and outside Ibadan graced the occasion as they took to the dance floor with the couple and their parents. The bride, Okpeyemi, an accounting staff of NTA Ibadan Network Center, is the daughter of retired Director of Administration, NTA Headquarters, Abuja, Tunde Oluwatudimu. Highlights of the event include special performances by the friends, cutting of the cake, and couples dance.
Yeah, I'm smiling. We wish them the very best and a life of happiness. Now, across Borno State is a tribe with more than 2,000 years of history. It is called Kwayam and considered a subunit of the popular Kanuri tribe. What is spectacular about them is the richness in their culture, their nomadic life, style of dressing, among other obsessions. Yaruwaya Umar tells us more about this tribe as societies evolve.
Kwayam is among the 19 different dialect groups in Borno. Simply means people of light, comprising Manga, Surti, Badawi, Ngazar, Kama, and more, all found within the tribe. History has it that they are not a particular tribe, but a subunit of the Kanuri. found not only in Nigeria, but Saudi Arabia, Chad, Sudan, and Niger, among other countries.
Mongoro birnin jibi yeri har birnin kasar mu har kuwa jikwa yo san ma son amurada kan lokacin shi koyam duma kuwa wuda kan lokacin
ngawul kashe yemadi so nuna ko kala am ka je kashu kanuri anje sak lazin kirewa ya kashe kariwon ja kashe homi
andi fero ndi kana banan goy fero ndi ka ando no bosam walje wa koyam kama ndere ye no amanzo akambulan ye.
Even though their population is small, the Kwayams are most commonly found in the northern part of Shettiram, Bangudaram, Polo, and surrounding villages of Gede, Magumeri, Gubio, and Gaze local government areas of Borno State.
Yes, and yar sinya barya kara fero ndere wolo ne ne sami endin me yakan sidia fero ndere goyen kwaraje. Taran ndere wolo ne sami uskun findi goyen kwaragare. Tadba da buladialan dan jinzala barami kala barami goda dabban da choti sinin zala sani yo hara da sa Allah re mi we sitya kuleno solemba gotuma da sare yaro.
Kwayams are very peace-loving people and very intelligent in predicting the future, which according to them is a natural gift from God. The men are also believed to be very powerful in protecting their wives and female children from aggression in whatever form. This is the impression other tribes in Borno State have about the Kwayam.
They also live in small number of huts around the Lake Chad. So the Kwayam actually, I don't want to call them a kind of primitive people, but they are highly reserved in preserving their culture. They try to restrict cultural integration, cross-fertilization of cultures with other ethnic.
The Kwayam are very unique dialects, a very unique tribe. The village head of Shataram, of Fellow, that is the Kwayam's leader. He was my very good friend. I drove all the way from Maiduguri to witness the occasion. They came out in large numbers in complete regalia, both men and women. And I was praying some of the women who were dancing. Then somebody drew my attention. I said, Alanguru, 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 don't do that. Touching the forehead of a Kwayam girl while dancing is forbidden. You can't do that. So that is how they maintained their culture and tradition up to the moment I'm talking to you now.
You see, we have diverse cultures all around Nigeria, and we learn every day. I think you've learned something from Newsline today. So when you visit a place like that, don't go touching people without permission, okay? Don't even do that because it's against the culture. We'll take our last round of commercials. Newsline will be back soon. Thanks for staying there. Ikorodu Oga, the second most populous local government area in Lagos State, is home to many, both indigenous and non-indigenous. Apart from its rich cultural heritage, Ikorodu also attracts a lot of developmental projects. Hingino John Adams visited the town, and this is what she came back with.
Here lies Ikorodu town, occupying the northeast of Lagos State, along the lagoon and bordering Ogun State. This ancient town has metamorphosed into a metropolis, attracting people from different parts of the country. Join me as I explore Ikorodu. The history of Ikorodu cannot be complete without the mention of Oga, the founder of the ancient town. Ikorodu derived its name from two words, Okoodu, meaning a farm with a type of plant that blackens. After its unique power was confirmed, women used it for cloth dyeing until it became extinct. Ikorodu settlers are predominantly farmers and traders. Its cosmopolitan nature has become a catalyst for development, transforming the town to a heaven, even for those working on the faraway Lagos Island.
The United Nations have assessed Ikorodu being the third largest city in the whole of West Africa. Yes. And you know what it means? We want to sustain it. We want to maintain it. Ikorodu Oga no mama je gbogbo ojo. So shall it be.
Ikorodu Oga. That's the first thing. Everybody in Ikorodu is an Oga. We carry ourselves with pride and dignity. And the air is good. The land is good. We have some of the best soil anywhere. That's why anything you plant here, our corn is so fresh. The land is good. And the people are very, very hardworking, particularly our women. And we like fun. You want the best parties? Come to Ikorodu.
The strategic location of Ikorodu has brought some massive projects like the Immortal Rice Mill, Ikorodu Lighter Terminal, the ongoing 4th Mainland Bridge, and many other industries.
We are so liberal here. When you look at, most people are moving from even Lagos to Ikorodu now because Ikorodu is blessed with water, land.
We project the local government as as a what you call a corporate entity that's worthy of investments. It's a friendly area. The people are very friendly, are very welcoming. We are not particular about any religion. All religions are here. All tribes are here. If you have not been in Ikorodu, you have not been to Lagos State.
So, when next you visit Lagos or you find yourself as a first-timer in the state, you need to visit Ikorodu to have a feel of its energy, culture, serenity, and a whole lot of goodies that envelop the town.
Ikorodu is indeed a beautiful town in Lagos, and just like Ingeno said, if you visit Lagos, ensure to go there and thank us later. Now, one of the lasting traditions in Yoruba land is the Oro festival, but the tradition seems to be nosediving in some parts of the southeast, especially among the youths who are unconsciously attached to the Western culture. What exactly is the Oro festival, and what doesn't it entail? Olumide Egutola will provide answers to these in our next report.
Oro Festival is an annual event celebrated by towns and settlements of Yoruba origin. At times, the festival may be observed when the need arises to fortify the land or embark on general cleansing. It is only the male descendants who are paternal natives of a particular location and the worshippers of Orisha that can participate. This exactly is the scenario in Ikorodu, a city in the outskirts of Lagos. My chat with the Akpena of Ikorodu Kingdom, Chief Karimu Ore, reveals that Oro is for protection, blessing and peace of the land without any negative impact on the society. He confirmed that it was through Oro that a notorious criminal was stopped from operating in the town.
We inherited this celebration from our forefathers for the peace of the land.
One way or the other, we offend our gods. So a period of the year, the traditionalists, led by the Olumana of Ikorodu, Alhaji Are, they do some form of cleansing.
The Araba of Ikorodu, Chief Ifagbemiro Atunfagbon Biada of the Ojediran compound, described Oro as a potent god in Odua land. He traced the riches of the descendant of Egbaland to its powers.
Oro God gives us children and other good things of life.
It was a surprise to people when it went viral on social media that Oro would be worshipped on the day of the 2023 governorship and House of Assembly elections.
The election time does not fall within the time of our own time we observe the Oro festival.
That is a fake news. The Oro they are talking of is the Eluku that comes up in August. We, the indigenous and aborigines, we know the time we do it. So the moment we saw it, no, it's fake.
Suggestive of my surname, Eguntola, meaning riches and wealth to the Egungun deity. I'm here in Ebute, Ikorodu, to see one of my ancestors, and pray for the peace of Nigeria.
Okay, Egutola, I don't want to say anything about that, about the prayers, but we need to preserve our culture, and I know that women don't go near where the festival, where the rituals are going on. You have to be very careful. Now, this is where we'll end today's episode of Newsline. Thank you for being a part of it, and join us Sunday next week for another fresh edition. I've been thinking something in my mind because Yola was asking me to sing a Yoruba song or say something in Yoruba. And I wanted to remind her that when we were growing up, we had this Abe Igi Orombo, Ibe la fin shere wa, Inu wadu ara waya, Abe Igi Orombo. So learn all these songs around you and know that we are one big nation. So until next week, remember that you can also be a star by joining the NTA to stand against rape and rapists. Good night and God bless Nigeria.